So, is it possible to be born with naturally good genetics and be in really great shape? It is. Cool. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will see you later. Okay, but hold up. Just because someone is born naturally with really great genetics doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be working towards getting in better shape. My name is Alec. I am a health and exercise scientist. I'm here to help you burn that fat and just feel fantastic all around. So not a lot of people know this, but when I was a little kid, I grew up fat and out of shape. In fact, I'm fairly certain that I was born with genetics that just kind of predisposed me to storing a lot of body fat because I have a younger brother. Him and I grew up in the same conditions, under the same household. We're being fed the same food because, trust me, if I got some more french fries at McDonald's, he made sure he got the same amount of french fries as well. You know how that sibling rivalry goes. But we basically grew up under the same conditions, yet he was a natural athlete. He was always in really great shape, and no matter what sport, whether it was like swimming or soccer or lacrosse, he was really good at. Me, on the other hand, if you had a very difficult time beating a legendary level on Halo, you hand me that controller, I will beat that level. And what I'm trying to get at there is we grew up in the same household, yet he was in really great shape and I wasn't. Therefore, it means that you can be predisposed genetically to be out of shape. And I think that really discourages a lot of people because they think, oh, if I wasn't born with a Greek god physique, there's just nothing I can do, may as well just give up. But no, don't give up. If anything, just acknowledge where you're at. Start the journey with where you are, because when you do so, then you can start making steps forward. Because if you think that you have to be over there in order to begin, you're never going to start. If you think you got to be at the top of Mount Everest in order to climb it, you're never going to start climbing it. So what are some things that you can do in order to get in better shape? Well, if you and I were to sit down face to face, this process would be a lot easier. Since we're only here in the virtual world, there's basically one of two routes. Are you looking to lose weight or are you looking to gain weight? Because just as some people are born naturally a little bit overweight like I was, there are some people that are naturally born not a lot of weight. In fact, there's a lot of people out there that want to put on weight because they feel ashamed that they're skinny, which is kind of weird. You know, you got the fat shaming, but then there's the inverse that happens where you got people that are kind of skinny shamed. Like, look at that. I'm not even gonna start. Looking to lose weight or are you looking to gain weight? Because basically when it comes down to it, people who are skinnier, they burn more calories than they're consuming. People that are bigger are eating more calories than they're burning. So you just kind of have to like work the numbers a little bit there. There's some really great calculators online, BMI calculators. There's also like BMR calculators. So BMI is like body mass index. Basically, it just, you plug in a few little numbers about yourself and it tells you, are you overweight or are you underweight? And then BMR is Basal Metabolic Rate, and it's basically just how many calories are you burning just naturally throughout the day. Whether or not you're aware of this, you are burning calories as you are sleeping, as you're talking, as you're walking obviously, but just to continue to be alive, you are burning lots of calories. And some people, they actually burn like just a lot more calories just naturally than others. So knowing how many calories you burn is a great way to start your journey in determining how many calories you should be eating. Because if you naturally burn a lot of calories, you're gonna have to eat a lot more calories. And if you naturally don't burn a lot of calories, then you're gonna have to eat some less calories. A really simple trick that I like to do, in fact, it's something that I applied for myself that allowed me to drop 20 pounds of fat and get down to 10% body fat. Hey, let's see if the abs. I'm totally going to cut that out. Remove that. Allowed me to burn 20 pounds of fat and drop down to 10% body fat just by doing this one trick that I'm about to share with you. And all I got to do is figure out what your basal metabolic rate is and then subtract 300 from it. Yep, just 300. Because if you're able to subtract 300 calories from the amount of calories that you're burning every day, after about 10 days, just from eating 300 calories less, that equates to just about 1 pound of fat in terms of energy. So if you burn like 3,000 calories, it's essentially a pound of fat right there. You know, I'm just kind of rounding the numbers there. That's something that I did when it came to losing weight. Let's say you want to do the opposite and you want to gain weight. Just do the inverse. Just add 300 calories. And it's like, well, Alec, 300 calories, that's not a lot. Exactly. You got people that do these extreme diets where they just don't eat anything. It totally messes up their metabolism. And you got these other guys that are just like eating so much food, they can't even function or move throughout the day. And neither of those approaches work. And neither of them are healthy either. So by doing 300, it's a great place to start because there's a lot of ways that you can cut out 300 calories. The first is just any type of liquid, any type of thing that you can drink. Make sure it's only water. No soda, no juices, no nothing. If it's a liquid, make sure it's water. I mean, you can put some electrolytes in there. And then the thing that's cool is like you'll see here, the opposite is true as well. If you are looking to gain weight and you need like, oh man, I don't know where to get these extra calories from. Just start drinking more juices. Start drinking more protein shakes. I like the protein shake approach because you never get enough protein. But by drinking your calories, it's much easier to gain some extra pounds. In fact, the actor from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I'm forgetting his name, in one of the seasons, he wanted to put on a lot of weight. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll just like give you a fat suit. And he's like, no, I want to actually like be fat. So he had one of his assistants bring this huge tub of ice cream to his office, and he'd be working and writing scripts, and then at the end of the day, all the ice cream would melt. What would he do? He just would drink the whole thing. Sounds disgusting, but he knew it's much easier to consume calories if you drink it versus eating it. So know your basal metabolic rate. Add or subtract 300 calories. And the way that you can do that is by either cutting out the liquids that aren't water or adding more liquids that aren't water. That makes sense. But yeah, those are just some basic tips there to help you out. I don't want this video to go too long. If you want more tips and advice, make sure to hit the subscribe button and comment below of specific topics that you'd like to hear more advice on. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.